Hello, I'm Stephen Day from the Virginia Council on Economic Education, and I'm here today with Aubrey Pithwa. Hi, Aubrey.
Hello, Stephen. How are you?
Doing great, thanks. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Super. So tell me about yourself, Aubrey.
My name's Aubrey. I'm a State Farm agent in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee.
Well, welcome. So today we're talking about goals and goal setting. So the idea behind a goal is that if you want to make a good plan to get somewhere, you got to have a goal first. And that goal is going to be based on your values. What do you want? What do you think is worth achieving? But the thing is, it's sometimes not always easy for young people to know exactly what their goals to be. Sometimes you have to feel it out. So that's what we're going to be helping them with today. Now, I understand that you have a big personal goal that you're working on right now. Will you tell me about that?
I do. I'm currently training for my first marathon this year.
Impressive.
It is
So what
long.
does that entail?
A lot of running. I am using a specific tracker through the Apple Store that just basically tells me how many miles to run and how many days a week to do it. As long as I stay on track, then I should be able to run 26 miles in November. That is the plan.
So what do you do each day or week now?
Today I ran 4 miles this morning and then went and did Pilates. I should run 6 miles on Friday and then 13 on Sunday.
Okay, and what happens if you fall off of your small goals? How would that affect your big goal?
I almost have to start back over a little bit, or I could get injured. The older you get, the easier it is to tear and break things if you don't stick with the little incremental steps.
Okay, you could not make your goal at all, or you could actually get hurt.
Correct.
So I also understand that that there's kind of an analogy of this to your career as well, because you didn't just become a State Farm agent, right? It took a path to get there. So how did you start?
Sure. So, like most young people, I worked in retail and was a server all the way through high school and college. I enjoyed working with people, but I knew I definitely did not want to be a server for the rest of my life. I happenstance got introduced to a local State Farm agent in Knoxville, Tennessee, who was hiring. I interviewed with him because he seemed like a cool guy, and then I started working for him as one of his employees. Um, I didn't know that I wanted to be in insurance. I certainly hadn't planned on that in high school. I don't think most people set out to become insurance agents. But it turns out I really loved the job. I got to talk to tons of people every day. Seems like every call was something different, and there was so much to learn as a team member that it really kept me on my toes. It prevented me from being bored. And continuously, I was having to get new licensing the longer I was a team member. You start out with like a property and casualty license just to be able to do basic things, but eventually got my life and health license. I got my Series 6 and 63 license, which is for financial planning. I got a 65 license after that, and then a mortgage license eventually. But
So
I knew,
these are a little bit like your daily running goals, right? If you don't
yeah,
do them, then you don't get anywhere.
exactly.
So you kept building yourself up. That's so go on.
Well, I was, 22 when I started with him. So I, at that point, did not feel comfortable or ready to open my own office. As an agent, you're an independent owner, so you're responsible for rent, for payroll, and all the fun things that business ownership entails. So I worked for him and really made sure that I hit my production goals. I made sure to introduce myself and get to know who would eventually be hiring me and who could get me in the position to become an agent when I was ready. And then just continuously kept the licensing up to date that I needed to do so. So when I was ready at about 27 years old, I had already met my future employer or the person who would be placing me in agency. And I had made sure to do a really good job as a team member so that I would shine whenever I had to do that final interview.
I'm really seeing that in your life and career. There's big long goals and there's shorter term goals, and really these goals are happening all the time, right?
Sure, absolutely. I've got daily goals in my office for both myself and my team members to track, how many people do we need to talk to? How many quotes do we need to do today so that our long-term goals are more attainable?
Yeah, that's great stuff. I'm always struck by how we actually are going after goals each day, whether we kind of know it or not. And it really helps to make those clear so that we can be more effective with really ultimately getting what we want, getting what we
Yeah,
value.
exactly.
Well, hey, Aubrey, thank you so much for joining us today. And that's an amazing story. And let us know how you do with your marathon, okay?
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Stephen.
Okay, have a good one.
You too.